Welcome to Active Health 360. Your journey to a healthier, happier life starts here. Did you know that in the United States today, more than 37 million adults are living with diabetes? And if that number sounds alarming, consider this. Over 96 million more are in the pre-diabetes stage, just one step away from officially becoming diabetic. These aren't just numbers on a chart. They represent real people, friends, family, maybe even you, living with a condition that can silently shape every aspect of their lives. The truth is, the modern American lifestyle, from what we eat to how we spend our days to the way we handle stress, has quietly pushed millions of people toward this chronic disease. The question you have to ask yourself is, are you one of them? Today, let's break down the specific habits and patterns that are driving this epidemic. We'll explore why they're so dangerous, and most importantly, how you can protect yourself, starting right now. Pay close attention, because by the end, you might recognize that some of these harmful habits are already part of your everyday life. And as you'll see, making even small changes can make all the difference. Before we dive into the specific lifestyle factors that have led so many Americans down the path to diabetes, let's first understand what diabetes actually is and why it's often called the silent killer. Diabetes is a condition in which the body either doesn't produce enough insulin or can't use insulin effectively. Insulin is a hormone that helps move sugar from your blood into your cells, where it's used for energy. When your body can't do this properly, blood sugar levels stay high. Over time, that excess sugar acts like a slow, corrosive drip, damaging your heart, kidneys, eyes, nerves, and blood vessels. What makes diabetes especially dangerous is how quietly it can develop. Many people with type 2 diabetes, by far the most common form, don't even realize they have it for years. They keep living their normal routines, all while silent damage is taking place inside their bodies. It's only when complications appear, blurred vision, numbness in the hands and feet, kidney problems, even heart attacks, that the alarm bells go off. That's why diabetes is often dubbed the silent killer. And while genetics can play a role, for the majority of people, it's not destiny. It's daily choices that make the difference. Let's take a closer look at these choices. What is it about modern American life that makes diabetes such a widespread threat? One of the biggest culprits is our diet, especially the amount of sugar and processed foods we consume. The average American takes in around 17 teaspoons of added sugar every single day. That's several times higher than what the World Health Organization recommends for a healthy diet. Where does all this sugar come from? Most of it is hidden in the foods and drinks we consume without a second thought. Sugary sodas, bottled fruit juices that seem healthy, pastries and snack cakes, fast food meals, even everyday packaged foods from the supermarket. Each time you down a can of soda or grab a sweet snack, your blood sugar spikes and your pancreas jumps into action, pumping out insulin to keep things under control. But when this happens over and over, day after day, your body can start to ignore insulin signals, a dangerous condition called insulin resistance, and that's the gateway to type 2 diabetes. The problem is made worse by highly processed foods, which are packed with saturated fats, salt, and empty calories, but low in fiber and nutrients. These foods don't leave you satisfied for long, so you end up eating more and more often. The result? Weight gain, obesity, and an even higher risk of developing diabetes. But our eating habits aren't the only problem. Another major factor is our increasingly sedentary lifestyle. Research shows that sitting for more than 6 hours a day can more than double your risk of developing type 2 diabetes. And when you think about it, sitting is almost built into our way of life. Many Americans work office jobs that require long hours in front of a computer. Getting to work often means driving, not walking or biking. And when the workday is over, relaxation usually involves more sitting, watching TV, playing video games, or scrolling on a phone. When you're inactive, your muscles aren't burning glucose for fuel. That means your body depends more and more on insulin to move sugar out of your blood, increasing the risk of insulin resistance. Over time, inactivity also leads to the loss of muscle mass and the buildup of visceral fat around your organs, two direct pathways to higher diabetes risk. Now, let's talk about a pair of silent saboteurs that most people overlook: stress and poor sleep. When you're stressed, your body releases a hormone called cortisol. In the short term, cortisol can help you deal with immediate challenges, but when stress becomes part of your daily routine, cortisol levels stay high, and so does your blood sugar. Chronic stress keeps your body in a state of alert, as if it's always preparing for an emergency, which is terrible for blood sugar control. At the same time, sleep deprivation, which is a growing problem in America, makes things even worse. If you regularly get less than 6 hours of sleep each night, your body's natural rhythms are thrown off. It becomes harder to regulate insulin, and you're more likely to crave quick, sugary energy sources just to get through the day. In our always busy culture, staying up late to finish work or unwind is seen as normal, but the price is paid with your health. Obesity is perhaps the strongest driver of type 2 diabetes, and in the United States, the numbers are staggering. According to the CDC, more than 40% of American adults are now classified as obese. Why does excess weight, especially around the abdomen, matter so much? Because visceral fat, the fat stored deep in your belly, actually interferes with the way insulin works. This forces your pancreas to produce more and more insulin, which only works for so long before the system breaks down. Overweight individuals are up to 6 times more likely to develop diabetes than those at a healthy weight. A simple measurement can tell you if you're at risk. For men, a waist circumference over 40 inches. For women, over 35 inches. Cross that line, and you're in the danger zone. It's not just food, inactivity, and stress that play a role. Alcohol and smoking are 2 lifestyle habits that quietly contribute to diabetes risk. Drinking alcohol forces your liver to work overtime, processing toxins, which impairs its ability to regulate blood sugar. Many alcoholic drinks are also loaded with sugar and empty calories, making it easy to gain weight without realizing it. Smoking, meanwhile, doesn't just harm your lungs, it makes your body more resistant to insulin. Smokers are 30 to 40% more likely to develop diabetes than non-smokers. These habits, often seen as social or relaxing, can have serious and lasting impacts on your health. There's another, less obvious factor at play: the fast eating culture that's become so common in America. Think about it. How often do you eat your meals while driving, working, or rushing between appointments? Finishing a meal in 5 or 10 minutes has become the norm. The problem is, eating too quickly doesn't give your brain enough time to register that you're full. You end up eating more calories than you need, and your blood sugar spikes rapidly after each meal. Over time, this pattern of fast eating contributes to insulin resistance and increases your risk of diabetes. With all these risk factors, you might be wondering, is there anything you can actually do to protect yourself? The good news is that, despite the alarming trends, most cases of type 2 diabetes can be prevented or even reversed with timely, consistent changes to your lifestyle. Here's how you can start. First, take a close look at your diet. Cutting down on sugar is essential. Swap out sodas, energy drinks, and bottled juices for water or unsweetened tea. Save desserts for special occasions, and be mindful of hidden sugars in packaged foods. Instead, build your meals around vegetables, fresh fruits, whole grains, and lean proteins like chicken, fish, beans, or tofu. These foods are rich in fiber and nutrients, helping you feel full longer and keeping blood sugar stable. Slow down when you eat. Chew each bite thoroughly and listen to your body's signals of fullness. Simple changes, like putting your fork down between bites, can help prevent overeating and post-meal blood sugar spikes. Physical activity is just as important as diet. Aim for at least 30 minutes of brisk walking every day. Walking is accessible, low impact, and effective at lowering blood sugar. Incorporate strength training exercises, such as lifting weights or doing bodyweight movements like squats and push-ups. Building muscle helps your body burn more glucose, even while you're at rest. And remember, avoid long stretches of sitting. Set a reminder to stand up and move around every hour, even if it's just for a minute or two. Managing your weight is key. If you're overweight, even a modest weight loss of 5 to 7% of your body weight can dramatically lower your risk of diabetes. Don't just focus on the scale, track your waist circumference too. Reducing belly fat is especially important for improving insulin sensitivity. Prioritize sleep and stress management. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night. Create a relaxing bedtime routine and keep electronic devices out of the bedroom to minimize distractions. Find ways to manage stress that work for you, whether it's meditation, yoga, deep breathing exercises, or simply spending time with friends and family. Chronic stress and poor sleep are both risk factors you can control with a little planning and self-care. Finally, if you smoke, make quitting your top priority. Every cigarette increases your risk of diabetes, on top of all the other health dangers. If you drink alcohol, keep it moderate. 1 drink per day for women, 2 for men is the maximum recommended limit. Less is always better for blood sugar control. At this point, you might be thinking, I'm still young. I feel healthy. Do I really need to worry about diabetes now? The reality is, diabetes doesn't appear overnight. It's the product of tiny habits, what you eat, how you move, how you sleep, that accumulate over months and years. Millions of Americans are already living with this disease, and millions more are at the edge without realizing it. Don't wait for a routine checkup or a doctor's warning to take action. Take a moment right now to reflect on your habits. Are you eating more sugar and processed food than you should? Is sitting taking up most of your day? Are you getting enough sleep and managing your stress? Or are you always feeling rushed and overwhelmed? If you see yourself in even one of these patterns, it's not too late to make a change. Start small, swap soda for water, go for a walk after dinner instead of turning on the TV, set a regular bedtime, and stick to it. Each small step you take moves you further from disease and closer to a healthier, longer life. Remember, you have 2 choices. Let your lifestyle control you, or take control of your lifestyle. The decision you make today can determine your health for years to come. Choose wisely. Thanks for watching Active Health 360. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more healthy living tips.